Hello, guys, and welcome to the Global Gaming Podcast. I am, of course, the host, Oliver Bisping. I do have some special guests with us here tonight. But before we get into them, I will say a shout out to our sponsors, of course, GWF and the returning of NSW. We, of course, talked a little bit about those last week. We're going to talk a little bit more about it this week as well. But we're going to continue on as we got two guests with us here. We got, of course, our world champion, Danny Six here.
Yep, I'm back again, though. World heavyweight champion.
Of course.
That is me.
And we got a man that used to be a part of GWF, maybe making his way back soon, who knows. Currently a free agent, though, right now. We're making his way through the indie scene. J Money.
Good to see you again.
And it's great to see you again. I'm sure it would be great to talk about what you've been going on in your indie scene, but we have something else to talk about first. But with that being said, this is our contestants right now for our podcast championship. Now, we don't have too much to talk about this week, so we're cutting it down to 20 minutes instead of 30. So that's why it is cut down a little bit. So we're just going to start that off right about now. So some of you guys may not watch our show, of course, GWF, but this is how, of course, we always start off the podcast. So, Danny, you were in the co-main event here tonight, beating, in technical terms, Morgan Wolf and T.G. Carter here tonight.
Yes, I did. Yes, it went down to a 1-on-1 between me and T.G. Carter after, AJ Styles took out Morgan Wolf, but it doesn't matter. If he hadn't, Morgan Wolf had to be taken out, I was still winning. And I beat down and abused T.G. Carter. I mean, everyone saw it. And I thought the start match, I'd do a hilarious thing and spit blood at the fans.
Yeah, I'm sure that those fans definitely did not like getting the blood spat all over them. Of course, some of the matches on tonight, there were some very great costumes here tonight. Of course, from the Raw match, we had Nathan Rave was Deadpool. We had AJ Styles. He was Jason Voorhees. We even had Dan Woodward come out as the Punisher for the first match of the night, and really just a great match. And well, the reason for that AJ Styles attack, of course, AJ Styles winning that match and will be headlining with Morgan Wolf at November to Remember coming up this Sunday night.
I'll be watching that closely, and what kind of condition is Morgan Wolf in? Not only taking some beating from me, but then AJ Styles coming out and beating him up.
Beating up, and of course had to have been taken out of the match. The ref throwing up the exit, saying that Morgan Wolf is seriously hurt and got him outside of the match. Dr. Tom, alongside with Roman Reigns, took him to the back to get evaluated. Well, as of right now, we have no real terms on what's going on there. Hopefully, he will be ready for Sunday night. And, well, we're going to take us over to Jay. Now, you were here tonight. You were in the crowd just watching on.
Yep, certainly was.
Yeah. Now, what did you think of at least the first match here tonight?
Well, the first match overall I thought was pretty good. AJ's costume was spot on. I think he done a good job with that. And I think the match was good, except the ending I didn't think went quite well.
You didn't
I did have a feeling that Nathan Reeves should have actually got the victory.
Thinking that Deadpool Nathan Reeves should have got the victory here tonight. Danny, do you feel the same about what happened?
To be honest, they're going for the US title. I don't focus on that. I don't focus on them unless they're trying to come after me, but I did watch the match. It was a good match, and hey, AJ Styles was the winner. He picked up the victory, and he's going after Morgan Wolf for that United States Championship and showed his vicious side. Shows, just like me, the being champion is what matters.
Yeah, being the champion is, of course, all that matters. Of course, the phenomenal one will be looking to continue on and try and gain gold here in GWF, as we're going to go on and talk about our next matchup here. Some non-title action, of course. It was TJ Perkins and Chaz going at it there tonight, and really just a great cruiserweight matchup, and really SmackDown proving that they do have that great high flyers down there in SmackDown.
It's very rare that I agree with you, but I would agree with you. Seeing high flyers there, it does impress me. I do get impressed with certain aspects. TJ Perkins has been shown he could get the job done.
You're definitely showing you can get the job done. J Money, you may not be like one of the really the high flyers, the fastest people in the match, but you got to give credit to where it goes. Of course, to those cruiserweights getting it done out there.
Of course, cruiserweights have been a part of wrestling for so long, and one of the most exciting matches to watch. Yeah. And TJ Perkins been all around the world, finding his way to GWF to show his talent.
Yeah, it's definitely great to see TJ Perkins making his way to, of course, here in GWF. I mean, those cruiserweights and their fast-paced matches, they are just so fun to watch. Just to see them flying around everywhere and really just getting the fans on their feet. There's just absolutely great wrestling to see, and that's the one advantage to SmackDown that they have. Of course, Raw, of course, has our hardcore division, which is, of course, exclusive to Raw. And before NXT had the woman, but now the woman, actually, this was announced today. Well, announced a little bit in the matches. Of course, Total Divas, a brand new show to GWF. Maz getting rid of the woman, and they're starting off their own show. And I definitely cannot wait to see what's going to come of that, and see how the women really prove themselves.
Definitely think Maz is missing out on the action there, not letting the women fight on NXT.
Yeah, definitely a very risky decision there. And Danny, what do you have to say about the women getting their own show?
Well, that's the thing. I think, yes, Maz, you could say take it a risk, get rid of it, but then there might have been, a deal worked out in that they're getting their own show to, showcase just the women, and there's a lot of women in NXT that I hugely respect, and I think them getting their own show could be the truly greatest way to showcase them.
Yeah, it definitely could be a great way to showcase them. I honestly can't wait to see who is going to be their general manager going into that. Is it going to be another woman, or is it going to be like back in the old NSW days where, well, it was the pretty boy Tom Fell back in those days?
I doubt that.
Well, maybe he'll go out of the Roman gears and get back into the general managing zebra gear that he used to wear. Well, we can only hope not. But with that being said, we will be moving on to our next matchup that was, of course, part of Halloween Havoc. A very great tag team matchup. Non-title, the Elite losing to Cesaro and Kid.
Huge upset.
I think that shocked quite a few people. I mean, I can't discount Cesaro and Kid as a great tag team, but the way the Elite's been, that did surprise a lot of people. It's kind of surprised me.
Yeah, and like I said before, I think that was the first loss they've ever had as a tag team. And to really get Cesaro and Kid, I mean, coming December 5th, when of course GWF starts it all off, we're no longer in the off season. I never think Cesaro and Kid should be going for something very big coming to the start of the season.
Yeah, definitely. They will get the opportunity. You ride your opportunities, and I think Cesaro Kid, they have earned their opportunity to go after the Elite.
J Money, your thoughts on the matchup?
I thought the match was pretty good. I was surprised Cesaro and Kid were so athletic in the Roman gear they were wearing. impressed about that.
Yeah, that is definitely very true. I would say that's probably a very heavy Roman gear. I mean, I'm sure they went all out. Probably got an all metal. Of course, I guess like it was said before that they borrowed that from the Roman general himself. Of course, Tom fell. So really, just some absolutely great ability by Cesaro and Kid to really prove themselves, and with like such limited abilities with that Roman gear on. Really just a great spectacle to see, and I cannot wait until the regular season to see if, well, at the first pay-per-view, of course, Quest Champions, are they going to be the ones going after the Elite? Yeah, but with that being said, we'll be moving on to the next matchup of the night. Of course, very interesting attires here tonight, with Austin Woodward coming out as Doink the Clown, and a tribute to Goldust here tonight by Dan Masters. I mean, just very interesting costumes all around here tonight.
Indeed it is, but Austin has said backstage how much he used to love Doink the Clown, so I think that's the main reason why he chose the tribute attire.
It may very well be indeed. But another thing that happened in that match, well, like many people say, all of Bisping, when the major people in the production crew decided to keep the glorious music going, and really, a lot of people saying that might have been very big inspiration for Dan Masters.
It could possibly been, and it could also have been intimidation to the rest of the team in the GWF.
It could definitely have been, Dean. I mean, Danny, your thoughts?
It could have been, tried to inspire Dan Masters, I guess, or intimidate Austin Woodward. I'd prefer it was the intimidation factor, but this, you got it on Dan Masters, he did win the matchup.
Yeah, did get the big win. Whether with the help of the glorious music or not, he did get the big win there tonight, and really another upset, really. Non-title matches, the champions have been losing.
Well, apart from one that we're going to get onto. Well, two.
Yeah.
Two.
Well, that also being said, though, in another really big matchup, of course, your big matchup, we already talked a little bit about it. The great triple threat, all three champions in the ring, really trying to get bragging rights to see who is the better champion. It started with 3, but it ended with only 2 in the ring, thanks to a certain AJ Styles really trying to really captivate and really choose his opportunities to take out Morgan Wolf, only a mere 6 days away from November to Remember.
Like, I've been very smart from AJ trying to take shots at the vulnerable champion in the match. He wasn't expecting it. I think he just came out of nowhere with that kendo stick.
Yeah, it really just came out of nowhere. Go on, Danny.
Yeah, I have to agree there. It's a greatly smart tactic there by AJ. I mean, it's something I would certainly do to really send a message to the opponent and, take him out, give him an injury headed towards a big matchup in just, 6 days' time.
Yeah, just 6 days' time. I mean, it was just absolutely crazy. I mean, the referee calling up the exit saying he needs to get out of this match, and, well, he was certainly brought out of that match, and really just shows what kind of trouble that Morgan Wolf was in, that he had to be taken out of the match. Now, I know if Morgan was conscious enough, I doubt he would have really let Dr. Tom and Roman Reigns out of that matchup, but he was forced out.
Indeed, Morgan Wolf is a fighting champion. He wouldn't have given up that easily.
Yeah, but without that also being said, then we had, of course, the main event of the evening. Cameron Lawrence going against Dean Ambrose, SmackDown's main event here tonight. And really just a big win for Dean Ambrose, really proving himself at why he is the champion.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose had picking up a shocking win at Mania that probably most people didn't expect. did prove tonight why he is the champion.
Your thoughts, Danny, before we move on?
He's the He's the GWF champion, not the champion. I mean, I'm the champion. I've got the most important title, but I will hand it to Dean Ambrose, showing his lunatic instinct, showing his brutal side, and show why he is SmackDown's GWF champion.
Yeah, well, both champions really did bring out their lethal side here tonight. I mean, really just that giant massacre of TJ Carter by Danny Six in that matchup. But with all that being said, we will be moving away now from GWF. And well, guys, with that being said, I will be taking a quick ad read to our sponsors. Of course, one of our big sponsors here, NSW, The Return. It is happening, people. This time, it is all about the universe. NSW, the wrestling is, of course, non-stop. If you guys want to check out the draft, they got news already. They had the draft. It will be in the description below, so please do check out NSW as it is returning. But now we're moving on to another segment here, as we're going to be talking about, of course, what just happened, yesterday night. The big Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Not many people are saying it was a great one. A lot of people really bringing it down to it was one of the worst pay-per-views. Some people, me personally, I thought it was an okay pay-per-view. It wasn't anything special, but it was an okay pay-per-view.
And the pay-per-view was okay, but most of the matches were quite predictable in it. But there was a few shocks in there.
Yeah, definitely a few shocks here tonight. Well, last night, I should say. I mean, it was just...
Sorry, I was going to quickly say a few shocks, but are shocks always good?
Yeah, shocks are definitely good. I mean, one of the biggest shocks of very, very recent memory was when Kevin Owens picked up the title. I mean, when I remember watching that, I get goosebumps thinking about it now, just watching that Triple H. Nobody knew he was going to be coming in. Going into that night of Raw, nobody knew Triple H was going to go in there and really attack Roman Seth Rollins and really give Kevin Owens the win. No, I don't think many people even knew that Triple H was even going to be there that night.
Handing Triple H in a very long time.
But here's what I said. That's an example of a very good shock. Here's an example of a bad shock. Charlotte yet again getting her title back.
Now,
they are playing hot potato with that championship.
I would definitely say, should Charlotte have become third-time champion? Sure. Should she have gotten it now? No.
No.
Very, very early. It should have been, as Sasha was saying, yes, there is that famous thing that wrestlers lose in their hometown, but it's just Charlotte should have really gotten the loss there. Now, I was reading something for this is just backstage news. This, of course, really more backstage politics than actual fact. This was there's been talks that Sasha was initially supposed to go over in that matchup, but Vince McMahon actually changed it. And many people are thinking, like we talked a little bit with J Money beforehand, saying that it's gonna be a Bayley versus Charlotte feud coming very shortly.
Could also push into a triple threat on the way to Mania.
It could definitely push it into a triple threat. I mean, in the sense of the terms, that could make sense. I mean, it's gonna be very hard to have Sasha going against Bayley, and it's not like they do have a lot of women to really showcase.
Sometimes I wonder. I mean, I'm pretty sure Raw and SmackDown are both booked by the same people, but Raw just sometimes with its women's division doesn't seem to know what it's doing.
It may just be really just the way they've been booking the women. I mean, personally, I don't watch a whole lot of Raw and SmackDown. I try to catch it when I can, but sometimes with work I really can't. But I definitely think, I mean, personally to me, I like the woman in SmackDown a little bit more. I like Alexa Bliss. I like Nikki. I know some people probably don't really like Nikki, but I personally like Nikki. I've been going a little bit away from Becky. I don't really like the Becky Balboa thing, but it's whatever. Just a whole bunch of good women down there. And now, but of course, with Raw, hopefully my good old Emma will be making her way back.
But they've changed up her gimmick yet again.
Okay.
They should have just kept her as Evil Emma, because that gimmick was actually,
oh, that was really good.
I think that was a good gimmick for her.
I think that was the gold mine, and they're missing out on that, to be honest. But, hey, that's what they choose to do. They want to go for Emmalina. I mean, let's not knock it, really, until she's actually out there doing it. We're just seeing big names.
Yeah.
We're not actually knowing what the gimmick truly is. I'm just saying, don't knock it until you see it.
I think the only reason they're doing this is because they need another face woman, because they've got... I'm trying to think of face women on the Raw, like, women's roster. You've got, like, Bailey. Sasha and Bailey, and that's pretty much it, because Charlotte's a heel, Dana's a heel, Nia Jax is a heel. Who else?
They don't have too many
roles. Yeah.
And that's just the one sad thing about wrestling. Sometimes there's not as many women as you would like there to be in wrestling. It's just, and now a lot of women want to think, oh, I'm going to go into wrestling life.
Well, it's where you look at SmackDown, that's got a good mix of heels and faces. You're like Becky's a face, the face of Becky, Nikki,
Naomi.
Got Naomi.
Carmella's a face, though, right?
No, she's heel. She is heel because she's feuding with Nikki.
Oh yeah,
who's a face. And then the heels you've got are Carmella,
Bliss.
Oh God, that's it, Alexa Bliss
and Natalia.
So you've got like
Eva, but she's
kind of away at the moment. But you've got a good mix up there.
Yeah. Well. To be honest, I don't know how I really like Natalia as a heel. She kind of screams more babyface to me, to be honest.
I think it's because of her legacy, like her name.
Yeah, the Hart legacy. It's really does not really scream heel to her.
No, I mean Bret Hart was a massive heel at one point, but more towards the American fans. So if it was Canadian fans, he was considered a face, but to Americans, he was a heel at one point. During his feud with Austin.
Yep.
And it's really just crazy to think that. But, well, really going away from Hell in a Cell, but really talking like, really just the woman, I mean, really just haven't really truly been well showcased in Raw as much as it has been in SmackDown. And like I said, like I like a lot of the women down in SmackDown. Like one of my favorites down there is Alexa Bliss. I mean, it may not be a lot of people's favorites, but I definitely like her. I mean, I think it was the last paper she had the Harley Quinn attire, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Also, like recently she's becoming.
Was it sorry? No, you carry on.
I really like how she's coming out as Freddy Krueger attire back in NXT.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the very cool characters down there, but
very creative.
Yeah, very, very creative. I mean, it's definitely very interesting to see what they're going to do continuing on with the woman. I mean, just very interesting. Now, also though, we talked a little bit about this last week. They're thinking about maybe Maurice getting involved in the wrestling.
That could be possibly good as a former women's champion.
Yeah, could very well.
Yeah,
get in there and really give a good rub, I would say.
Because it's not like she's, out of shape or anything. She's still in incredible shape, so I think she could get back or easily get back in the ring.
So, as we're going to continue on, we talked about, Charlotte getting the belt back, but another shock of the night, Brian Kendrick. A lot of people are saying he's well and past his prime. He really probably shouldn't be becoming the Cruiserweight champion, but here he is. He beaten TJ Perkins because while TJ Perkins was trying to check on his friend there, his friend, the nasty heel that is Brian Kendrick, went out in there and put the submission on there, and TJ had to tap.
Mm-hmm. Brian Kendrick certainly looks a bit out of shape. I don't know if he should still be actually wrestling.
It's not like, he's been bad in the ring or anything.
Yeah. I mean, I thought, TJ Perkins' first defense against Brian Kendrick, so I thought that was good. I thought that was a good way to get a good rub to TJ Perkins from Brian Kendrick getting a legend in there for TJ Perkins to get a big win over, but I really think they really probably should have continued on and maybe given another Cruiserweight a chance.
Yeah, I think so.
They got all these Cruiserweights, but it's only Kendricks and Perkins going for the belt.
Yeah, when you've got so much other, talent for the title.
Yeah, you got that Grandmaster.
You got like Rich Swann. Yeah, Grandma.
Drew Gulak. You got so many
cruiserweights.
Yeah. It shouldn't just be just them two. I mean, yes, it's just a feud for now, but it's like, we should try to get them more involved, I would say. Maybe make it a triple threat. I don't know. But it's definitely, to be in all fairness, still a good match, but it's definitely very weird to see TJ Perkins not the one still the champion. Yeah. And then, of course, we got some of the predictable matches. Rusev not able to regain the United States gold, able to beat Roman Reigns. But in all fairness, I thought it was a pretty good match.
It was a pretty good match. That table spot they set up.
Admittedly, I haven't watched NSL. I was thinking of it. I couldn't get on my network today. Yeah. For some reason it was down, but I'm probably not going to watch it. Just hearing, I know the results. Yeah. But the thing is, it's predictable. But it's not the bad kind, I think Reigns needs to hold the US title for a good amount of time to get the actual fans behind him, because now he's booked in sort of a mid-card position.
Yeah, with Roman Reigns, what was the main finish of that match was Rusev had him in the accolade. Sorry, it just wasn't escaping out of my mouth there. The accolade right on steel steps, and while pulling back with a chain, he was just doing everything he can, really make it really excruciating as he can on Roman, and of course Roman, the big dog that he is, able to power his way out of it and got the big Samoan drop onto the steel steps for Rusev, and then Rusev was the first one to get up, but Roman was getting up from the corner. Boom, spear, 1, 2, 3. And honestly, I thought it was a pretty good finish.
Yeah, it sounds like a decent enough one. I mean, it makes, it's funny to say it does make Roman look strong, sort of thing. But the thing is, as I said, he does need to hold the US title for a good amount of time, make him, look good, sort of thing, and help build him. Because, as I said, people were saying he was booked too high, too fast, sort of thing. Yeah. And hopefully people get behind, because it's not like he's awful. He's had some pretty damn good matches as of recent. It's just his promo work.
Yeah, this was the same one I was going to talk about later, but I'll talk about it now. Santino Marella actually was talking about it. He was saying that he likes Roman Reigns, and he's saying that deep down, everybody kind of likes Roman. It's just cool to hate Roman Reigns right now.
Yes, I wouldn't say I hate Roman. I mean, I'm not exactly, I wouldn't buy a Roman Reigns t-shirt or anything. I'm not like, I wouldn't say he's one of my top favorites, but it's not like I hate the guy. It's just, it's more WWE's booking system that's paid people just like him. It's not Roman Reigns himself. You can't blame him.
No, you really can't. It's like saying you can blame John Cena for now almost being a 16-time world champion. Yeah.
When it's just the way WWE books him, they see a massive, cash opportunity. they're seeing what is going to get them money.
Yeah.
You capitalise on that.
It's wrestling at the end of the day. Fans are going to love something, they're going to hate something. They can't control that.
Exactly.
Yeah. And well, we're talking about that. Of course, Curtis Axel, new podcast champion. We're just going to go a little bit over real quick. We're just going to finish talking about Hell in a Cell, and we'll just end it there. We'll have what I was going to talk about. We'll save that for next week. But we finished up talking about Hell in a Cell. One of the filler matches, I would probably say, Bailey versus Dana Brooke. Really just the match to keep Bailey still relevant, I would say. I mean, getting a predictable win, I would say, over Dana.
Yeah, it's predictable, but it's sort of like, as I said, something they had to have happen.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really pay much attention to the matchup in general.
Yeah, just so a match that needed to happen of what Bailey was able to get the win to really help capitalize her. Then, of course, we do have the Universal title match. Now, I know you don't fully know about this because you weren't able to watch it. But during the match, one of the refs were taken out, and they actually had to be taken out of the Hell in a Cell. And as he was being taken out through the door, in comes Chris Jericho to help.
Oh, I know about that. I've seen the images.
Yeah, out comes Chris Jericho to help Kevin Owens pick up the win. Now, this is something that's very, definitely, I would definitely say has been happening. I think Chris Jericho is overshadowing Kevin Owens.
And coming out as well, the match should have been 1-on-1 from the start because both of them are great wrestlers. But then Chris Jericho come out just makes it feel like a Raw SmackDown event.
Now, I wasn't really too mad about that because I think that just adds another thing to the match. But the way he's been overshadowing him, like the way promos and stuff, Jericho's the lead. Jericho's the main man in there. He's the one with all the catchphrases. The one that really all the people like when it should be Owens, the Universal Champion. And then
Yeah, you'd think.
also another really, really big moment that happened right after the end of the match when Kevin Owens was leaving. He was just up and leaving. Jericho, still continuing on Seth Rollins, and gave him a code breaker, and it ends out with Jericho's music when it's Kevin Owens' big win over Seth Rollins, his big moment overtaken by Jericho.
Maybe Jericho has got a future as a Universal Champion as well.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely foreseeing that feud happening very soon. I don't see them being best friends for much longer.
Yeah, at some point, they're gonna obviously have a feud between them. There's gonna be problems with the friendship, and they're gonna feud for the title.
Yeah. Quickly, a little bit off topic with this, but on the Instagram, Peyton Royce and Billy Kay, they posted a picture of them together, and they put hashtag best friends. Chris Jericho right in on that. Hey, that's our gimmick.
Classic Jericho.
Yeah, and I tried to find that comment. Yeah, it was impossible trying to find it. It was just a whole bunch of people reacting what Jericho said on that picture. It's crazy. But yeah, because it is crazy. I mean, those two pretty much are best friends. They came from the same high school, coming into now WWE from Australia. But with that being said, but yeah, I definitely think Jericho overshadowing of Kevin Owens' accomplishments.
Indeed.
So I definitely can't wait for that feud. I mean, especially actually even the promo before the match, it was mainly Jericho saying, "Oh, my best friend." And it's like, that's all good, but it's about Kevin Owens, It's like it's just Jericho talking about it.
Yes, you could say it's an overshadowing thing, and hopefully it doesn't ruin Kevin Owens.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm definitely hoping for. I mean, Don't get me wrong, I like Chris Jericho. Wrestling 26 years. My goodness, still in the WWE. It's crazy. But, I mean, it is just crazy thinking about that. Wrestling 26 years, probably one of the most over people on Raw right now. I would have to say. There was the Jericho, the stupid idiot thing. I mean, he's just all over in Raw. Alright, well, with that being said, though, I think we're going to be closing up the podcast here now. And, well, Danny, say goodbye to the fans.
Goodbye.
And Jay Money, say goodbye to the fans.
See you, fans.
Alright, guys. This is it for the podcast, and of course we would love to thank our sponsors here yet again. NSW returns. It's all about the universe. GWF, it is continuing on. The offseason has been red hot so far, just the first one. Do not forget to check out November to Remember coming up this Sunday night, headlining AJ Styles versus Morgan Wolf. It is certainly going to be in November. To remember, the lights are being turned off in the stadium. That is telling us that we need to get out of here. Alright, guys. This has been All Bisping. See you next time.